Hey guys, Ashley in the Raw here, just chilling, eating a bag of grapes, and I thought I would make a video explaining why I am no longer 100% raw. So spooky. But I've had a few emails because I uploaded that video called Bangin' Sweet Potato Fries, because I was making fries, man, sweet potatoes. Whatever, I felt like it. And so I got some emails asking me, why aren't you eating raw anymore? Or those fries weren't raw. Da 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 da. You're Ashley in the raw. What is this madness? Okay, first things first. Calm down. They're they're sweet they're sweet potato fries. They're sweet potatoes in oil. Like, I really, don't think somebody's going to keel over and die from eating that. And also, yes, I am aware that my username is Ashley in the Raw. But raw can mean a lot of different things. For example, when I would tell some of my friends who knew absolutely nothing about being vegan or raw or whatever, when I would say, oh, no, I'm not vegan, I'm raw vegan, they'd say, oh, does that just mean you don't eat anything that comes out of a box? Does that just mean that you prepare everything yourself? Like, you're just using raw ingredients? And then I would further explain, no, it just means that I also don't cook anything. Like, I legitimately eat everything raw. So, basically, who cares? I didn't tell people that I'm raw vegan, and half the people that I tell don't even know what it really means. But, I'm not 100% raw anymore, not because, oh, it didn't work for me, or, oh, I fell off the bandwagon, or, oh, I had cravings. No, I stopped being 100% raw when I just stopped caring. I legitimately just stopped caring. I was cutting foods out of my diet that didn't really bother me. You know, sure, I legitimately do have like a grain intolerance. I cannot tolerate any grains except for corn. So why should I keep cooked corn out of my diet if it doesn't bother me? If it doesn't make me feel any different? Why should I cut sweet potatoes and regular potatoes out of my diet if they're not bothering me? Why should I cut beans out of my diet if they're not bothering me? If my body does not have a problem with those foods, there's no reason to cut them out. And by cutting them out, I might be doing damage to myself. Because all human beings are, like, biologically different. We really all are. And I'm learning about that right now in my nutritional consultant class. And it's a nutritional consultant course that does focus on being vegan. And I also have an entire class that I'll be taking as like an introduction to raw foods and the macronutrients and all of that. So my nutritional consultant course does go along with my beliefs and isn't exactly what the American Heart Association and all that stuff kind of promotes. So yeah, like, there was a case study in one of my books where this nutritional consultant had a patient. Her parents brought her in, and she was like this 2-year-old little girl, and she couldn't sleep at night at all, and she just kept breaking out in rashes all over her body. And these parents had already gone gluten-free, grain-free, animal product-free, like all this stuff. And they were, eating what, people would think to be the perfect diet. But what was different about their little girl was that her little girl could not digest long chains of fat. So when they would cook her fat, or, cook things that had fat in it and then give it to her, that's what was bothering her. she could consume fat, but not when it was like a certain length and like the fatty acid amino acid chain, like whatever, you know. And then there was another patient who just could not digest certain fibers. I mean, there's just so many different things with our bodies. So for me, I cannot tolerate soy, all grains except for corn. I don't know why. And animal products, including dairy and eggs. I cannot tolerate those things. And I also cannot tolerate food chemical additives because I'm very sensitive to them since I've cut them out for so long. But I brought potatoes back in after like over a year. They didn't bother me. I brought corn pasta in after literally not having any type of pasta looking substance except for zucchini noodles for 2 years. And it did absolutely nothing to me. So what is the logical reason of cutting those foods out of my diet? There is no logical reason for that. There's no logical reason. Why? Because I want to be one of the cool kids that eat raw? Who gives a shit? Who really gives a shit? None of my friends in real life care if I eat raw or not. Nobody I know knows care. Except for the people on the internet. You know? So, it is a very small community. And there are a very small percentage of people who actually eat 100% raw year round. So yeah, I just really stopped caring, and it really has alleviated a lot of stress out of my life because I began getting really busy. Almost the entire time I was eating 100% raw, I really wasn't working that much. I was working maybe 10 to 15 hours a week. But once I moved back to my hometown and I got settled, I began working a lot. Some weeks I was working about 70 hours a week, and it was getting to the point to where eating a huge salad at night was not an option because I was also working at night. I was working, some days from 7 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and then go and work something from like 4 to 7 and then go and work from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And it was just so, like, I was never really giving my body enough time to really digest the food. And I would have to come home, and from the work that I did, come home and do reports on it, upload photos for my events, and do all this stuff. And it was just becoming so stressful to eat that amount of food that I needed to eat and actually, eat it in a calm manner. Because even eating when you're super stressed out will mess up your digestion and stuff. And it has nothing to do with the type of food that you're eating. I mean, unless you actually are eating stuff that's crappy, of course. But if you're eating like 100% raw and then you start really not digesting your food well, but you haven't done anything different, you need to look at how stressed out you are. So I got so stressed, my hair started falling out. And it just sucked. And now, like, my hair's all thick. It's all thick and it's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You see this? But yeah, I just don't eat 100% raw because I don't care. And I am just as healthy as I was before. And you do not need to be afraid to cook your food. Steam your fucking carrots, Sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes I like to steam my fucking carrots. Sometimes I like to boil my fucking potatoes. And my tomatoes. And my fucking corn pasta. And I'm not dying. I did not keel over and die. So, for the people out there who do eat 100% raw, and then they introduce like 1 or 2 cooked foods into their diet, and it does bother them, keep eating raw. But if you introduce a cooked food into your diet, and it legitimately does not bother you, I don't see why you shouldn't eat it. If it works for you, it works for you. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. And I really think there needs to be more research done about the biochemistry inside of us and how things actually interact with different chemicals inside of our bodies and what actually happens. Because, like in Ayurvedic medicine, Ayurvedic means science of life. And there's like 3 different metabolic body types. And I really don't know a whole lot about it yet because I just kind of hit the tip of the iceberg in school. But it's really interesting to me, and that could be a really key factor on why some people just cannot keep weight on having a fully, 100% raw lifestyle, and why some people gain weight, and why it just works for some people, and they're totally cool. You know? So I really just think people need to calm down, and there is no perfect diet for the entire world. And I want to reiterate that. There is no perfect diet for the entire world, and it is based off of the individual. But I do wholeheartedly believe that a vegan diet is the most important. We do not need animal products, and we are the only species that decides to drink another species' milk after we're done with the whole milk thing, which is just kind of weird. So, yeah, don't be ashamed if you can't eat 100% raw, because you know what? You might be cutting out foods that you don't need to cut out, and that's stupid. That is stupid. So yeah, that's it, guys. That was my fun ass ramble for the day. This was Ashley in the Raw. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up, and leave your comments below, and let me know what you think. Do you eat 100% raw? Are you striving to eat 100% raw? Or are you just vegan? Or do you just not give a shit? You know, whatever. We're all living on this planet, and I think if we're all vegan and we're all saving animals, we're on the same team. Okay? We're saving animals. Now come, look at this. Who's coming? This is Baby. Do you see him? Do you see him? Do you see him? This is an animal right here. Look at him. Oh, he's so wild. He is so wild. I'm dog sitting him, and he is so cute. I just love him. I just love him. I love you. Look, come here. Look at him. Oh, little baby. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. I love animals. And if you love animals, then I love you too. So let's just not eat them. If we want to eat corn, eat the fucking corn. God damn it. Have a great day, guys.